For the last 60 and 70 years, we've been continuing to experience those harms. And when women and people of color got into the workforce, got into places they had historically been excluded, and they outperform their white male counterparts, they should have been promoted, they should have been celebrated. But because of these narratives, we didn't trust women and people of color to have the leadership positions they deserve because they were more skilled, and we denied them those opportunities. And so then we began to realize that that wasn't right. That wasn't fair. And that was the genesis behind DEI. That's when we started to say, oh, you know what? It's wrong to not put the most skilled person in the position of leadership just because she's a woman or because this person is Black or brown. And that was an effort to begin repairing the harm that is connected to this narrative of racial difference.
But I think, Bryan, a lot of people thought, well, don't put the less skilled person just because they are a minority in that position. I think that's how so many people interpreted DEI efforts.
That's right. And I think we have to fault the corporate bodies and the institutions that started implementing these policies, because what they should have said is, we have done wrong. We've had lots of women in our workforce. We've had lots of people of color in our workforce who were more skilled, and yet they were passed over for promotion. They weren't given leadership opportunities because of their race, because of their gender. We made that mistake. We did something wrong. And now we're going to repair that by committing to correcting that cultural conditioning. But they didn't want to admit that they had done things in a bad way. They didn't want to confront, they didn't want to embrace the wrong. They didn't want to say, we backed it poorly. I got on a plane recently, and I was sitting next to someone, and the pilot came on. The pilot was a woman. The co-pilot was a Black man. And the person sitting next to me turned to me and said, oh my God, did you see who the pilot and co-pilot is? And I said, I did. He said, wow, this is going to be a really scary flight. You know, they're not skilled and qualified to fly this plane.
Come on.
I kid you not.
Someone said that to you,
Said
a
it
Black
to,
man?
Yes, that's exactly right.
What?
And I said to him, I said, oh, sir, when I saw that woman and I saw that pilot, I actually relaxed, because I knew that they were likely more skilled than most other pilots, because for an airline to give them this opportunity, they had to outperform their counterparts. That's been my experience, is that you actually have to do a little bit better when you're a person of color, when you're a woman. And so I actually feel more comfortable than I would ordinarily feel.